In this video, we'll be taking a look at two NBA games happening on December 17, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these two NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Memphis Grizzlies versus Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota welcomes Memphis to the Target Center on Wednesday night, and this matchup is basically sponsored by the injury report. For the Grizzlies, Cam Spencer, Javon Small, Zach Edey, and Ty Jerome are already ruled out, while Jay Morant and Brandon Clark are sitting in that uncomfortable gray area as questionable. On the other side, the Timberwolves will be without Mike Conley, and they are monitoring Anthony Edwards, who is also listed as questionable for this one. So yeah, this is one of those games where you really do want to see who is actually suiting up before you lock anything in, because the Grizzlies roster feels like it is held together with tape right now. Memphis comes in with some real momentum, which is the tricky part. They keep punching above their weight, even when it feels like half the rotation is in street clothes. The problem is pretty simple, though. If Morant and Spencer sit, you start asking where the shot creation and scoring really come from over 4 full quarters. Minnesota, meanwhile, has quietly turned into one of the hotter teams in the league, and they are still sitting as clear favorites even with Edwards carrying that questionable tag, which tells you how the market views the gap between these two groups right now. Now, looking at the matchup history, the Timberwolves are 7-3 straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games against the Grizzlies. So on paper, it makes total sense that the line leans their way. The awkward part is that the Grizzlies keep refusing to follow the script. Even when they are severely undermanned, they manage to hang around, grind games out, and either steal wins or sneak through the back door for a cover. It is annoying if you are fading them, but it is very real. Here is the thing. Minnesota has a bit of a habit of playing with their food. They build leads, ease off, and suddenly you are sweating a spread you felt great about halfway through the second quarter. That tendency helps explain why they are just 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games as favorites of 5 or more points, with 2 of those missed covers turning into outright losses. Add in Edwards showing up on the injury report, and it is not hard to imagine another scenario where the Wolves control the game but still let Memphis hang around just enough to stay inside the number. So while I do lean toward the Timberwolves staying hot and getting the straight-up win at home, I expect the Grizzlies to scrap and keep this one close enough to make it interesting for 4 quarters, even with all the bodies missing. As our first pick for this matchup, the Memphis Grizzlies to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The Grizzlies are averaging 114.1 points on 45.2% shooting from the field and allowing 115.9 points on 47% shooting. Ja Morant is putting up 17.7 points and 3.5 rebounds, while Jaren Jackson Jr. adds 17.4 points and 2 assists, which gives Memphis a pair of reliable scoring hubs when they are active. From deep, the Grizzlies shoot 34.4% from 3 and 80.3% at the free throw line, and they grab 47.9 rebounds per game, which often lets them extend possessions and create second chance points. On defense, they allow opponents to hit 36.8% from beyond the arc, so their games can turn into 3-point trading sessions pretty quickly if both teams are feeling it. Minnesota brings more offensive punch right now. The Timberwolves are scoring 119.8 points per game on 48.7% shooting and allowing 114.5 points on 46.3% shooting. They are hitting 38% from 3 and 77.1% from the free throw line, and they pull down 43.5 rebounds per game. That combination of efficient scoring and solid spacing often leads to stretches where they score in bunches, especially at home, and even if they ease up defensively late, it can actually help push the total higher as both sides trade buckets. Put those profiles together, and you are looking at two teams that allow enough on defense and generate enough offense that a high-scoring script is very much on the table. The Grizzlies can push the pace when they have enough ball handlers, and the Timberwolves have the shooting and efficiency to punish a short-handed defense, which often nudges games above the projected total, especially if late-game fouling comes into play. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Cleveland Cavaliers versus Chicago Bulls. Last week, the Cavaliers held a players-only meeting after starting 14-10, then followed it up by somehow going scoreless in overtime and losing at home to the Hornets. That kind of whiplash pretty much sums up their first couple of months. It has not been kind. Now they are hoping a matchup with the struggling Bulls on Wednesday can finally be that jolt that gets them moving in the right direction. They did already beat Chicago once earlier this season, but they needed Donovan Mitchell to completely take over late to get that done. DeAndre Hunter also exploded for 29 points in that game, which added another wrinkle. The real question is whether this version of Cleveland actually has the consistency, mentally and offensively, to grab a 2-0 lead in the regular season series. On the other side, saying the last 10 or so games have been rough for the Bulls feels almost polite. This team has fallen off a cliff, especially on offense, where we are used to seeing them light up the scoreboard. Lately, that identity has gone missing. Their net rating in this stretch is the second worst in the league at just 108.7 points per 100 possessions, which is a fancy way of saying they are not scoring enough and they are not stopping enough either. The recent home loss to the struggling Pelicans, where they managed only 104 points, is kind of the perfect snapshot. You can feel the tension building around this roster as the trade season creeps in. Rumors are swirling that the Bulls could try to swing big and bring Chicago native Anthony Davis over from the Dallas Mavericks, which would be a wild twist. Trade chatter always ramps up fan emotion, but until anything actually happens, this group is still the same inconsistent unit trying to figure out what it is night to night. Here is the thing about this particular matchup. The Cavaliers have ruled out Max Strus, Sam Merrill, Evan Mobley, and Larry Nance Jr., while the Bulls are monitoring Ayo Dosunmu, who is questionable. Cleveland has been well below its expected level lately, and that loss to Charlotte, where they could not buy a basket in overtime, was the kind of defeat that sticks with a locker room. Chicago, meanwhile, has started to get some bodies back from injury over the past few games, but the returns have not yet turned into anything resembling sustained winning. They are walking into this one fresh off a bad loss to a Pelicans team that is not exactly rolling either, which just adds to the frustration. From a side perspective, this sets up awkwardly. Nobody really wants to trust the Bulls, and honestly, that is understandable. But laying points with the Cavs right now is another level of uncomfortable. Cleveland keeps getting priced like last year's version, and they simply are not playing at that standard. We literally just watched them lose outright to the Hornets as double-digit favorites at home, and that is the sort of result that should stick in your mind when you see their number on the board. The fans made their feelings clear too. The Cavs were booed off the floor in that game. They are also sitting at 8-19 against the spread this season, which is about as bad as it sounds. Chicago, for all its issues, has seen 6 of its 10 wins come at home, and they have covered 10 games total. That is not amazing, but it is still better than what Cleveland has delivered. In a spot like this, with one team overpriced on reputation and the other at least showing flashes at home, it really does feel like home dog or nothing. Backing the Cavaliers in their current form is more of a leap of faith than a logical stance. As our first pick for this matchup, the Chicago Bulls to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The Cavaliers are averaging 118.7 points on 45.6% shooting and giving up 116 points on 46.2% shooting. From deep, Cleveland is hitting 33.9% of its threes and 77.2% from the free throw line. On the defensive side of the arc, they are allowing opponents to shoot 36.8% from three, and they grab 45 rebounds per game. That mix of decent scoring, shaky perimeter defense, and solid rebounding often leads to some lively totals because they can both score and concede in bunches. The Bulls are averaging 117.2 points on 46.8% shooting and allowing 122.4 points on 47.7% shooting. They are connecting on 36.1% from beyond the arc and 79.4% from the stripe. They are allowing 36.6% shooting from three and pulling down 45.3 rebounds per game. So you have another team that can absolutely fill it up but leaks points on the other end, especially lately. Put simply, neither defense is exactly putting fear into opposing offenses right now. These two already played a shootout in the first meeting, racking up 250 combined points, and the over cashed by 11 points. Cleveland attempts more threes per game than any other team in the NBA according to this write-up, and that matters because the Bulls are slotted 20th in three-point defense. That combination is the kind of thing that can turn a normal game into a barrage from deep, especially if Cleveland finds a rhythm early. On top of that, Chicago still has a potent offense. They dropped 122 in that first matchup and put up 129 points this past Friday, showing they can still pop offensively even in the middle of a rough stretch. The Cavaliers' defense has been wobbly, allowing 119 or more points in 5 of their last 8 games. When you mix two defenses trending the wrong way with offenses that can catch fire, you usually end up staring at scoreboards that are busy. The over is also a strong 5-1 in Cleveland's past 6 road games, which fits the theme of their games turning more open when they are away from home. All of that points toward another night with plenty of scoring chances and a real path to the total going higher than projected. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.